My Duke and Duchess darlings, Duke and Duchess noble hearts, my court of kindness, Sussex Squad forever family, it's your host Tyler, thanks for tuning in. Ah yes, the Markle family reality tour continues, now streaming live from a bench outside a supermarket in the Philippines, that's right. Thomas Markle, Meghan's estranged father and full-time tabloid troubadour, has relocated and reinvented himself as the sad-eyed star of Pity Me Tropical Edition. The Daily Mail, never one to pass up a chance to poke the royal bear, has been hot on his flip-flopped heels, dutifully reporting on his every sigh, snack and staged sulk. There he was, perched outside a local store, masterfully performing his one-man show titled I'm Just a Lonely Dad Who Cashed In on my daughter's fame, but please feel bad for me anyway. Cue the violins, or better yet the ukulele. It's more on brand for a beachfront breakdown. But let's not forget, this is the same man who treated his daughter's global wedding like a media fire sale. Meghan was out here filming Suits, working hard, wiring money back to Dad so he could keep the lights on. And what does he do? He turns around, sells her out faster than you can say exclusive interview, and starts rolling out pap shots like he's auditioning for Keeping Up with the Markles. Now he's got a $670 a month high-rise apartment with a view, but we're meant to believe he's struggling. Please, that's not hardship. That's Southeast Asian soft retirement. The only struggle he has is remembering which outlet he hasn't whined to yet. And as if the tragicomedy wasn't complete, enter the rest of the Markle tabloid tag team, Thomas Jr. and Samantha, aka Discount Drama Duo. These two have made a full-time job out of cashing in on Meghan's name. They pop up on talk shows more often than weather updates, each with a new explosive claim, which usually boils down to, she doesn't call us anymore. Gee, wonder why? At this point, Meghan deserves a medal for restraint. If most of us had family members constantly shading us on morning television, we'd respond with a flamethrower and a cease and desist. Instead, she did the smart thing, snipped the ties, rolled up the blinds, and moved on. Bravo. So while Thomas Markle pouts in paradise and his kids race each other to the nearest camera crew, Meghan's just out here living her best pap-free life. And frankly, that's the best punchline of all. Once supported by Meghan during her Suits days, back when she was climbing the Hollywood ladder and still had to buy her own almond milk, Thomas was on the receiving end of daughterly devotion and the occasional wire transfer. But what did he do with all that trust and support? Why, he sold it to the Daily Mail, of course, a true Father of the Year trademark move. Imagine this. Your daughter is about to marry into literal royalty, and instead of basking in the glow of her success, you start leaking letters, staging paparazzi shoots like you're auditioning for Survivor In-Law Edition, and giving more interviews than an Oscar winner in awards season, all for a couple of tabloid checks and a few sad sound bites. Bravo, Thomas, truly groundbreaking betrayal. Understandably, Meghan said enough is enough, snipped the emotional umbilical cord, and ghosted him like a bad Tinder date. And who could blame her? There's only so many times someone can sell your dignity to the press before you decide to block their number and their vibe. But wait, the plot thickens. In early 2022, Thomas Markle relocated to the Philippines, perhaps thinking he could dodge the tabloids and live out his golden years in peaceful obscurity. Spoiler alert, he could not. The Daily Mail followed him faster than a seagull on a chip, cornering him outside a local supermarket where he sat, head hung low, face full of regret, and probably wondering where it all went wrong. Hint, it was the moment he thought exclusive interview meant therapy session. Reports claimed he was struggling, which, to be fair, is hard to buy when the man's living in a $670 per month high-rise apartment with better sea views than most honeymooners. Struggling? Sir, please. Most people would struggle to afford a shoebox in London at that price. But of course the drama wouldn't be complete without the staged woe-is-me supermarket photo shoots, which seem less like journalism and more like a low-budget episode of The Bachelor Estranged Parents edition. The sad eyes, the empty grocery bag, the vague stare into the tropical distance, its less authentic suffering and a more soap opera promo poster. At the end of the day, Thomas Markle isn't fooling anyone. The sympathy ship has long since sailed. And Meghan? She's steering a yacht called Boundaries and not looking back, so if you're keeping score, Meghan's thriving, Thomas is posing outside 7-Elevens, and the tabloids are still trying to make Markle drama happen. Spoiler, it's not. According to the tabloids, who he's definitely not avoiding, by the way, Thomas has been spotted looking positively Shakespearean in his sorrow, sitting outside a grocery store with the kind of face you'd expect from someone whose ice cream just melted and whose Wi-Fi went out. It's the kind of perfectly posed misery that screams, "Look at me suffering," but make it front page. Let's be clear. This man isn't exactly living in a hut built from broken royal invitations. He's renting a $670 a month high-rise apartment in Cebu, which, in local terms, is considered quite nice. Before that, he was staying in a 3-star hotel, which is about 2.5 more stars than he deserved post-paparazzi scandal. So let's not cry into our tiaras just yet. And yet, here he is, perched like a tropical Eeyore, looking like he's waiting for someone, anyone, to hand him an interview request or maybe just a tissue. This latest chapter feels less like real hardship and more like performance art. He's not adjusting, folks. He's auditioning. Meanwhile, back in California, Meghan is probably lighting a wellness candle and thanking the universe for the block button. Let's not forget, this is the same daughter who once helped support him financially during her Suits days, long before the Duchess days, only to have him turn around and sell her out to every British tabloid that could spell Markle. He didn't just burn bridges, he torched them, sold the ashes to the sun, then gave an exclusive interview about the fire. So, while some cling to sympathy for the lonely old man in Cebu, the receipts are stacked high and alphabetized. Meghan did her part. She tried, she supported. And when the betrayal hit maximum tabloid velocity, she did what any self-respecting daughter would do: cut him off. Now, instead of reconciliation, Thomas seems more committed to his media tour than his family. The only reunion he's interested in is with the next reporter offering a camera and a half-decent buffet. So if Thomas Markle is out here looking sad and alone, it's not because he's been abandoned. It's because he bought a one-way ticket to estrangement and then asked the press to wave him off at the gate. Let's call it what it is, the Markle family media circus, featuring Thomas, Samantha and Thomas Jr., the trio of tabloid tornadoes who just cannot stop milking Meghan's name like it's the last cow in the pasture. For years, Meghan Sussex was the very definition of a supportive daughter. While starring in Suits, she quietly sent money to her father, helping him stay afloat, all before the royal titles, tiaras and relentless headlines. She didn't just care, she invested in her dad's well-being. But what did Thomas Markle do with that loyalty? He sold it off to the nearest tabloid like it was a limited edition royal souvenir. First came the stage paparazzi photos. Then came the interviews, so many interviews, each more dramatic and self-pitying than the last. He didn't just betray her, he turned it into a career. And just when you thought the betrayal tour was over, bam! Enter Samantha and Thomas Jr., two half-siblings who hadn't been seen since the dial-up era, but magically re-emerged the moment Meghan got a ring and a royal postcode. Suddenly, they were all over TV and tabloids, spinning tales like they'd grown up braiding Meghan's hair every morning. Spoiler, they hadn't. Their claims of victimhood? Please. They've given more interviews about Meghan than Meghan's given about herself. Their concern is nothing more than a paper-thin PR stunt, a transparent, self-serving grab for attention, relevance, and if we're being honest, cash. Meanwhile, Meghan's made it very clear she's done. She's moved on. She's busy raising her family, building her brand, and healing from the tornado of betrayal and press madness she didn't ask for. She doesn't owe them money, phone calls, or even a polite "how have you been?" At this point, what the Markle clan really needs isn't another press tour or a sad beachside interview. What they need is a mirror, and a long, hard look in it. Because until they stop dragging Meghan's name into the spotlight every time their rent's due or a camera appears, the public will continue to see them for what they are. Opportunists riding coattails they never helped sow. Time's up, folks. Meghan's living her life. It's high time the rest of them found something else to do with theirs. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. It's your host, Tyler. Love you all. Goodbye.